1. Heat and energy are convertible. Heat and energy are convertible. 2. The kids keep us amused. The kids keep us amused. 3. People feel something peaceful in here. People feel something peaceful in here. 4. Sounds like you are both happy. Sounds like you are both happy. 5. Her old house is just beautiful. Her old house is just beautiful. The way they say it. Part 1.
You know the lake behind the Jackson farm? I go there by 2 roads. The wide one goes through the pasture and the narrow one goes through the woods.
I know them both. The narrow one's more interesting. The big pine tree near the road has a nest with the biggest red-tailed hawk you ever saw.
Lem, pass Hetty the salt and pepper before the soup gets cold. Excuse me, you were saying?
And the lake is full of some of the biggest and oldest turtles I've ever seen.
Did Lem try to catch one? I did catch one. That monster must have weighed at least 15 pounds.
Last year, when summer was almost over, there were lots of them sunning on the rocks.
Yes, many more than in the early summer.
Lem, I forgot the raw carrots and the celery sticks. Would you go out to the kitchen and get them?
Are they in the refrigerator?
No, they're in the colander by the sink. Put them in one of the bowls sitting on the table and bring them in, please.
Say it yourself. Part 1.
1. The lake is full of substitution. 1. Various kinds of reptiles.
'The lake is full of various kinds of reptiles.
2. Bass and trout, not to mention the turtles.
'The lake is full of bass and trout, not to mention the turtles.
3. Some of the most interesting looking turtles you've ever seen.
'The lake is full of some of the most interesting looking turtles you've ever seen.
Substitution. You remark that the lake is crowded with 1. People attempting to water ski.
'The lake is full of people attempting to water ski.
2. Campers enjoying some fishing or swimming.
'The lake is full of campers enjoying some fishing or swimming.
3. Couples in canoes and rowboats.
'The lake is full of couples in canoes and rowboats.
2. Many more than substitution. 1. In the beginning of the summer.
'Many more than in the beginning of the summer.
2. In the first part of the summer.
'Many more than in the first part of the summer.
3. Earlier in the season.
'Many more than earlier in the season.
Transfer. Use the key expression to show surprise that more people came to a gathering than you expected.
1. Many more patrons than you expected came to the matinee performance.
Many more than we expected came to the matinee performance.
2. Many more people than you had seats for turned up at the concert.
Many more than we had seats for turned up at the concert.
3. Many more people than you anticipated showed up at the stockholders meeting.
Many more than anticipated showed up at the stockholders meeting.
4. Many more applicants than you could accept came for the job interview.
Many more than we could accept came for the job interview. 3, 1, 1. Dialogue.
What time can I get a flight to Cat Island tomorrow?
There are only 2 flights a day available to the island. The morning one leaves here at 10 o'clock, and the afternoon one at 3 o'clock.
Would you give me a seat on the morning flight? What time can I get a flight to Cat Island tomorrow?
There are only 2 flights a day available to the island. The morning one leaves here at 10 o'clock, and the afternoon one at 3 o'clock.
Would you give me a seat on the morning flight?
Excuse me, you were saying? Dialogue.
This morning when I was about to leave, suddenly...
Hold the phone. I'll be right back. Excuse me, you were saying?
Suddenly the doorbell rang. You'll never guess who it was. This morning when I was about to leave, suddenly...
Hold the phone. I'll be right back. Excuse me, you were saying?
Suddenly the doorbell rang. You'll never guess who it was.
The way they say it, Part 2.
Here are the vegetables.
Would you like some celery or carrots, Andy?
They look delicious. I'll have some of each.
Well, dear, you seem to have a real interest in the birds and animals around the farm. I'll bet the biology teacher at the school downtown hasn't seen all the ones you've seen.
I haven't been to any of the big wildlife preserves, but the birds like to visit the lake and woods around here. So it's all the same.
Those girls in town with their book learning would find a real way to study nature if they followed your example.
The problem with them is they're lazy. They wouldn't be able to get up that early in the morning.
It's nice to know someone around town has the energy and brains to get up and do something for herself.
Oh, I'm sure the others have plenty to keep them busy in town.
With all this talk, we don't want to forget our dinner. Let's eat.
Good idea, honey. Betty, dig in.
Say it yourself, Part 2.
1. The problem with them is substitution. 1. They wouldn't take the trouble to get up that early.
The problem with them is they wouldn't take the trouble to get up that early.
2. They're not as enthusiastic as Hetty.
them is they're not as enthusiastic as Hetty.
3. They don't have any real interest in wildlife.
The problem with them is they don't have any real interest in wildlife.
Substitution. You complain because some teachers you know seem to be more interested in their salaries than the well-being of their students. 1. All they seem to be interested in is money.
The problem with them is all they seem to be interested in is money.
2. They're not dedicated to teaching.
The problem with them is they're not dedicated to teaching.
3. They're not really interested in the students.
The problem with them is they're not really interested in the students. 2. It's nice to know. Substitution. 1. A young lady who has such an inquisitive spirit.
It's nice to know a young lady who has such an inquisitive spirit.
2. Not all the girls in town lack initiative.
It's nice to know not all the girls in town lack initiative.
3. Someone who really appreciates nature.
It's nice to know someone who really appreciates nature. Transfer. Tell your younger sister you're pleased to know. 1. She's doing so well at school.
'It's nice to know you're doing so well at school.'
2. She likes her studies so much.
'It's nice to know you like your studies so much.'
3. She's in the top 10% of her class.
'It's nice to know you're in the top 10% of your class.'
4. She's going to graduate with honors.
'It's nice to know you're going to graduate with honors.' 3. Way to dialogue.
The best way to master a foreign language is to live in a country where the language is spoken.
But what if that isn't possible?
Then the next best thing is to study the language diligently every day and use it whenever possible. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. The best way to master a foreign language is to live in a country where the language is spoken.
But what if that isn't possible?
Then the next best thing is to study the language diligently every day and use it whenever possible. Don't be afraid of making mistakes.
Four. Dig in. Dialogue. We have all this wallpaper to put up before evening.
Well, talking won't get the work done.
You're right. Let's dig in and get it over with. We have all this wallpaper to put up before evening.
Well, talking won't get the work done.
You're right. let's dig in and get it over with. Now you try. A.
Mr. Clark, I wonder if you'd like to try a Japanese-style bath. There are a couple of well-known spas in Dogo.
Spas? You mean hot springs? Of course. I read that Japan is full of hot springs, probably many more than any other country in the world.
The best one here is about 100 years old, and it has quite a history.
What's so different about a Japanese bath?
It's a public bath. Of course, there are two entrances, one for men and one for women.
Is it true that men and women bathe together?
No, except for a few remote areas, they have separate baths for men and women now. Well, here we are. Don't forget to take off your shoes.
Spas? You mean hot springs? Of course. I read that Japan is full of hot springs, probably many more than any other country in the world. What's so different about a Japanese bath? Is it true that men and women bathe together? Now you try. B. That bath was so hot and refreshing and sociable.
It's nice to know you enjoyed it. But why sociable?
Well, one fellow spoke to me in English and 3 others joined in.
They were practicing their English on you. The problem with them is they can't find anybody to talk with in English.
But their English was good. They said they were university graduates.
Yes, some universities have found a better way to teach English.
This bath has given me quite an appetite. Is there anywhere we can get something to eat? That bath was so hot and refreshing and sociable. Well, one fellow spoke to me in English and 3 others joined in. But their English was good. They said they were university graduates. This bath has given me quite an appetite. Is there anywhere we can get something to eat? Unit 7, Lesson 1. What's going on?
Hetty Jackson went over to the Smiths to meet Ben's family. It was a pleasant Sunday afternoon. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, and a warm breeze was blowing. Mrs. Smith and Hetty were talking about cakes and pies. Hetty was too open to keep secrets, so she told Honey Smith all the little things she did to make her pies and cakes so delicious. Mrs. Smith and Hetty completely ignored the 2 men in the family, who diplomatically decided to take a short walk. Lem's father confided to him that he had nothing against the girl, but was waiting to see if Honey was taking to her. He just wanted to keep peace in the family. quiet nature. Mr. Smith was impressed with Hetty's ways. When Lem brought up the subject of birds and animals, his parents were amazed that she had seen a loon, an egret, and some wild swans. They were birds seldom seen in the area. Hetty's patience and keen observation paid off. Honey soon was talking about a time long ago when there were many more varieties of birds around. She remembered a day when she saw a snowy egret, a whooping crane, and a family of cardinals all in one day. Mr. Smith couldn't remember seeing all those birds, but he recalled that a bald eagle came swooping down on his farm years ago and captured 2 chickens at once. Whenever he heard eagles mentioned in conversation, he thought of the powerful vibe of that majestic bird that day.
What really happened? 1. Was it a pleasant Sunday afternoon?
'Pleasant Sunday afternoon.
2. Was it a pleasant Saturday afternoon? 3. Was there a cloud in the sky?
No, there wasn't a cloud in the sky.
4. Was a cool breeze blowing?
No, a warm breeze was blowing.
5. Did the 2 men take a short walk?
Yes, they took a short walk.
6. Did Hetty's slowness work against her in a way?
No, it worked for her in a way.
7. Did Mr. Smith recall seeing a bald eagle?
Yes, he recalled seeing a bald eagle.
Try it out. Practice A. 1. What does she have?
Magazine. She has a magazine.
What does Hetty have?
Handicap. She has a handicap.
3. What's Mrs. Smith eating?
Piece of apple pie. She's eating a piece of apple pie.
4. What's that black?
Common sense. He's lacking some common sense.
5. What did Mr. Smith just give them?
Suggestion. He just gave him a suggestion.
6. What did Lem just get from Mrs. Smith?
Advice. He just got some advice from her.
7. What did Hetty get from Lem?
Letters. She got some letters from him.
8. What did Mr. Smith buy?
New machine. bought a new machine.
9. What did they lose?
Baggage. They lost some baggage.
Practice B. 1. Do you want some coffee?
Cup. Yes, I'll have a cup of coffee.
2. Do you want some milk?
Glass. Yes, I'll have a glass of milk.
3. Do you want some beer?
Can. Yes, I'll have a can of beer.
4. Do you want some cheese?
Slice. Yes, I'll have a slice of cheese.
5. Do you want some bread?
Peace. Yes, I'll have a piece of bread.
6. Do you want some ice cream?
Dish. Yes, I'll have a dish of ice cream.
7. Do you want some candy?
Box. Yes, I'll have a box of candy.
8. Do you want some pie?
Peace. Yes, I'll have a piece of pie.
9. Do you want some corn?
Ear. Yes, I'll have an ear of corn.
Practice C. Guided composition. One pleasant Sunday afternoon, Kenji invited 3 of his friends to his home. His mother, Hisako, had baked some delicious pies for the occasion. Masako was glad to see her brother after a month. She was neither excited nor bashful at meeting Kenji's friends. Kenji showed them his large notebook containing his notes on butterflies, insects, and birds. His friends were amazed at the delicious pies Hisako served for dessert.
How English sounds.
Listen and repeat. 1. 1. That's a duck. That's a duck. 2. You take one, and I'll take the other. You take one.
私の語り口はちょっと暗いかもしれません。でもこれをやっぱり明るく実行すれば本当に梶原の痛み平然と耐えられることができます。
そう、明るさは大切です。
前のめりになりそうでございます。ちょっとね分かりやすい例一つだけこう皆さんにお教えしましょう。これ著者がおっしゃってることでありますが、70代後半のご夫婦がいらしたそうですよ、カナさん。でね、晩年ね貯めた貯金でワンルームを2個購入、違うフロアで別々に暮らしておられる。これあれですね、いわゆるそういうやつで、もう結婚をして向こう側に行っちゃおうと。でワンルームをシェアで別々にやるとでかえって語り合うことが増える。
そういう関係性はいいですね。新しい形ですね。
あるんじゃないかな。何も2人で無視になって普通に老人夫婦演じることはないと。お互いを性代わり覚悟の年齢になった時により寄り添えばよくて老いを気取って老夫婦の真似をぜひ高齢者から真似するものじゃないよと。妻とは別の趣味にはしょうがない。お互いに語り合うべきことし合うべきことはあるのではないか。これはやっぱりまさにこの気持ちです。カナダはトイレの準備ってある。いや他の話じゃないよ。欲しいんだったらこれやる楽しそうだなとかっていうのはある。
まあちょっと年を取ったら2人でヨーロッパあたり行ってのんびり歩いて美味しいものを食べたいねっていうぐらいは語り合ってます。はい。
なるほどね。
はい。その上は何なんですか？
いやいや、俺んちは何だろうな。俺んち何してるんだろう。俺はちょっと今ムキになって奥さんと温泉旅行行ってるな。
よくご旅行行かれてますよね。
それね、それ言えばね、
それは愛？愛って
愛って呼んでいいかな。どうだろうな。まあお互い疲れちゃったっていうことじゃないかな。
そういう感じ伺うとすごく仲良く暮らしてらっしゃるんだなっていう今イメージがあるんですけれど。
仲良くじゃないね。ちょっと言葉の端々でございますが、やっぱりはっきりしてることは何だろうな。なんかね、やっぱり宿命だと思うのよ。夫婦っていうのは婚姻関係とか絆とかなんかいろいろ言うけども、紙切れ一枚とか所詮は他人よとかいろんなことを言う人いるけど、これ一種の宿命ですよ。もう運命の向こう側ですよ。だって変だもん。なんかよーく考えたらね、あなた鋭いね。夫婦って変だよ。もともと他人なんでしょ。うまくいかないのに一応ね勘違いしてうまくいくと思っちゃったわけだな。で一緒にいるわけですよ。同じ間違いを2人いっぺんに同時にしたってこれはね宿命ですよ。
お互い間違ってるんですね。
お互いが全く同じ間違いをしてるわけです。手形の上に手形をしたらきれいにぴったり合ってるみたいなね、そんなもんですよ、夫婦関係って。
勘違いですね。
勘違いですよ。なんかそうなんだ、それはねいいよと思って。あんたの笑い方見えるのだよ。
I'll take the other. 3. Before I start, if you don't mind, pour me a cup of coffee. Before I start, if you don't mind, pour me a cup of coffee. Listen and repeat 2. Now listen.
Ann, this is George.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm just fine. But tonight I won't be home until late.
Oh, what's the matter?
Tomorrow I have an extra chemistry class. So tonight I have to prepare the laboratory.
All right. I'll keep dinner hot for you.
Now repeat.
Hello, Ann, this is George.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm just fine. But tonight I won't be home until late.
Oh, what's the matter?
Tomorrow I have an extra chemistry class. So tonight I have to prepare the laboratory.
All right. I'll keep dinner hot for you.
The way they say it. Part 1.
You know, Lem, from the beginning, I've never had anything against Hetty. You certainly kept your mouth shut, though, Paul.
Well, you know your mother. When she seemed so set against the girl, I thought it best to wait and see what happened.
I'm still waiting to see. I wonder how she and Hetty are getting along.
Well, we might head for the front porch. They must be through in the kitchen by now.
So there you are. I wondered where you two went.
Is dinner ready?
You know, Hetty, they're big eaters. Between the two of them, they keep me cooking all day.
Say it yourself. Part 1. 1. You certainly. Substitution. 1. We're silent, though, Paul.
You certainly were silent, though, Paul.
2. Kept your thoughts to yourself, Paul.
You certainly kept your thoughts to yourself, Paul.
3. Must have an open mind about Hetty, Paul.
You certainly must have an open mind about Hetty, Paul. Substitution. Someone concerned about her weight is very careful about what she eats at dinner, causing you to remark, 1. Watch your diet.
You certainly watch your diet.
2. Are careful about what you eat.
You certainly are careful about what you eat.
3. Eat like a bird.
You certainly eat like a bird.
2. I thought it best. Substitution. 1. To say nothing against the girl to your mother.
I thought it best to say nothing against the girl.
Golden light from the rising sun is beaming down into my studio, and it just makes me sit and serenely think, I want a biscuit! I'm actually kind of hungry. I normally don't eat breakfast in the morning because I just kind of go quickly. I do the thing. I go to work and I skip breakfast. But there's occasionally a day where after about 2 hours of waking up not having eaten anything, I'm just ravenous. And so I'm just thinking all about food. So this right now is something you should know. January 21st is the Martin Luther King Buffet from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Club de Cooney. There's going to be all kinds of tasty food. So they're going to have soup, ham and bean soup, they're going to have turkey with creamy gravy, roast beef, brown gravy, and they're going to have desserts. They get green beans, meatloaf, blackened catfish, mango salsa, barbecue ribs, chicken and waffles, syrup and butter sauce. Man, that just all sounds so good. I wish I could eat it right now. But I have to wait until the roach coach comes around because the roach coach is the best thing to happen, I think, to a workplace. I think that it's the best thing that can happen to a work environment, honestly. But yeah, January 21st, Martin Luther King Buffet at Club Iwakuni from 11 to 2 p.m., lunchtime. There is a fee for it, so you just go in, okay, you get some amazing, amazing food, because every time they do a buffet like that, it always turns out great. Stick around, and in 2 minutes, I will have your weather.
All right, Webster defines an accident as an unintentional or unexpected happening. Let's face it, car accidents are gonna happen. But check this out. The definition goes on to say accidents are unfortunate necessity causes injury or loss. Well, you have the power to keep accidents from causing injury. Simply wear your seatbelt. And keep accidents from being, well, just an accident.
You know she's looking at you, watching you. Well, you think, you hope she is. So you say to yourself, watch this. You go behind your back, put the ball between your legs, you spin and face plant. As the opposition runs down the court with what's left of your drive, you think to yourself, nice, Jim, real nice. So get up, dust yourself off. Pretty sure the team will pass you the rock. Intramural sports at the Ironworks Gym. Your chance to shine.
Every package you send needs a customs form. Small packages with less than 4 items use the small green form. A postal employee will attach the form and weigh the package. Packages with 4 items or more, or that value over $400, need the large white customs form. Remember to fill out who it's from, who it's to, what's inside, and how much it's worth before signing it. The post office employee will take care of the rest. Hey, man, you'll never guess or get destroyed. Actually, I don't think you're going to tell me while we're out here at the club. Come on, man, listen up. No one here out of town cares. That's not true. Everywhere you go, someone could be listening. I guess visually it's happening, but you know, I was just going to say. We compromise sports. Remember, sports protection is your responsibility everywhere, all the time. That is not much, people, so make sure you go outside, you're staying warm somehow, however you want to do it, running loud, wearing something warm. I prefer wearing something warm, but hey, you know, everybody needs their own thing. If you want more about our weather, about the news that we have to give you, anything to keep you up to date with anything that's happening around the Air Station, stay on ASF.gov. If you don't have it, download it, and you can get everything you need, and stay up to date with everything that we have for you. Up next, we have Your Love is a Song by Switchfoot. I hear you breathing in, another day begins. The stars are falling.